The real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all for joining the live stream again. Who can you count on when the going gets tough in the Philippines or overseas, wherever you are? Let's talk about establishing a support system today. You know, I always got a topic, but this is your live stream, so we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Just put it over here in the comments if I can get to it. Shout out to Jacob Tanjay and the NTZ crew. I hope Michael Beats Your Life will join us today. Thank y'all so much, man, for keeping everything under control. Shout out to my old heads today. Michael Alexander. What's up, man? Roger Walker. Philippine expat prepper. Vince Lawson, what's up? He said, what's good, Unc? I'm glad the mics are working for you. Yeah, but I'm going to have to still get the, what do you call that wind thing to put over the top of the mic. What's up, Phil? Any new viewers and new subscribers joining us for the first time, welcome. Anybody catching me on the live stream? The peso is 54.48. Still a great rate. You know, some guy says, be careful, the dollar's crashing. Well, it ain't crashing today. And I live in the moment. It's 54.48 now. Hell, you can have a party. That's what he says. Hello, party people. Yeah, you can have a party. And, you know, this last video I made, guys, I'm not mad at anybody. But I think it's time that somebody said it. We mad over here, guys. We're leaving some big damn footprints over here. And it's this time that, you know, people stop taking us for granted. That's all I was saying. You know. And, you know, people that got a problem with it, I'm sorry, man. You know, I just think that somebody needs to say it. There's 100 new Filipino vloggers, and I don't have anything against them. But, you know, you need to give the 360. It's not all about you. What about us? See, you've gotten complacent. They really do think we're desperate, guys. They really do think that we will accept anything. So that's what we're getting. As long as you accept that, that's all you're going to get. But the minute you put your foot down and say, no, you need to go to the hairdresser. Get your damn hair fixed, your nails done, your feet done, and everything else, you know, don't, you know. So that's all that was all about, guys. I wasn't picking on anybody, you know. Let's see. W Secrets to Success, thanks for the super chat. Let me see what he says. He says, just saw your post for the day, and I totally agree with it. Plus, at minimal, all the Jordan rules are a must, too. Absolutely, man. You know, we have to demand better, man, in order for us to get any better. They've gotten complacent over here. If you don't believe me, go on the dating sites, and you're going to see it. You're going to be like, lady, what are you doing on here? You really think somebody's going to choose you? Come on. But, you know, because that's the reputation we've got right now. That, you know, whatever they're going to put out, we're going to accept it. Well, you know, it's going to take a little bit more than sex. Because I'm not a sex pack. C. White 12 said, Cal, I've been MIA for about a year. Over the past 2 weeks, you've been saying what I've been thinking during that time. I won't do one sever again. I won't do it never again. Thank you, brother. He said, good morning, Cal. Hello, everyone. Mr. Pirate Brain said, Shalom and Sunshine Shoulders. How you doing, Cal? I'm doing great. Oh, yeah, Vince. He said, traveling during Holy Week is crazy. I'm most definitely staying home. Marilyn wanted to go somewhere, and I told her, we were getting ready to go out there in madness, and I thought about it. I said, nope, I'm not dealing with all them long lines. It's pandemonium. Okay? Max says, there's so many vloggers on the internet soon, there'll be nobody to watch the vlog. No, that's not going to happen. I can understand why people over here are trying to make videos, man, because we're watching them. Why wouldn't you take advantage if your country is one of the most popular subjects on YouTube? I mean, and all you have to do basically, see, because we're accepting this, is get on there and just say, hey, what what did she say? I say the top deal breakers Filipinos can't stand. What Filipinos like in bed. What Filipinos fear in the bedroom. If all you got to do is make videos like that, and men are going to click on them, and you're going to earn money that you could never dream of earning on a real job over here, I'm not going to knock them. What's up, RLV? It's a good Monday, Thursday weather here in Taguig. Yeah, it is a holiday week starting today, guys. And it is good weather. We went walking yesterday, man. It's a breeze going. But imagine, Mac, how many television shows it is on TV. But that doesn't stop the networks from bringing out new shows every damn week. Jacob Turner says, you're the prize, guys. Don't forget it. But see, they've already forgotten. The minute that we get off the plane, we forget it. We start chasing. We start acting a damn fool. And it's back to zero again. He said, sorry, the message was cut off. PH Expat Prepper says, living in the province, Holy Week sees much an influx of folks from Manila come out here. Good for the locals, though. Yeah, you don't want to travel because a guy says, hey, Cal, I want to come over there the 5th and 6th. Well, this guy's coming. One guy's coming from Dumaguete. The other guy was coming from Cebu. I said, don't do it, man. You're probably not going to get a ferry. Every ferry's going to be sold out. Geechee Lion says, Cal, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. I mean, because I make a video like that, something has to be wrong. No, I'm just telling the truth. Somebody has to say it, Geechee Lion. Nobody else is saying it. They're putting up with that, keep putting out that same tired message, man. Yeah, we love it. It's 1,000 things we love about Filipinos, but there's some things that we don't like and we won't tolerate. They've gotten complacent. They need to step up their game if they want us to continue to make the sacrifices to come over here that we do. We're just not going to accept anything. I'm not. W Secret Success says, is the heat weather condition extreme over there yet? Absolutely. The humidity is off the chain right now over here. Peace, Hybrid 7011. Al Jackson said, what's going on, Cal? Seems like most Filipinos are looking for a meal ticket on the dating site. What's your experience? Well, that's all I'm saying. Okay, but if you're going to look, you got to bring a little bit more to the table now. That's always been the case. But if you look at these videos, Al Jackson, you would think it's the other way around. It's like we're looking for the come up. We're looking for the meal ticket. They're taking us for granted. That's all it is, man. I promise you. Just go on these dating sites. You'll see, you'll be like, lady, who do you think is going to choose you? Because they've gotten the memo that foreigners will accept anything over here. We're desperate. And you start passing some of these women up, they'll get the message. But yeah, let's talk about who can you count on, guys. Every now and then I want to talk about this subject because it's a subject that we skip over. Many of us never even consider it. We just, in our minds, we're buying the ticket, we're getting the hotel accommodations, we're meeting the woman, but that's it. We don't go any further than that. Even when you come over here on vacation, certainly when you're an expat, you need to have some type of support system. What are you going to do when something goes wrong over here? And be honest, man. Raise your hand if you got a plan in order. Most of us don't, man. Most of us just come over here on a wing and a prayer, really. I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay, I got a message from Mike Onstadt today. He was just saying hello. He wasn't saying anything. And it made me think of how many of us are over here with no health insurance. See, we're responsible men doing some irresponsible shit over here, man. I mean, we're all that in our own countries. We retired from the military, 30 years at the post office. We sold our businesses to come over here. But then we get over here and we do some irresponsible stuff. And being without health insurance is one of them. A lot of us won't even check the box for the travel insurance. We're trying to save at $40 or whatever it is. That's very, very important. That's part of that support system. See? But let me go down the line. Okay, but yeah, that's number one I had on here. Number two is we've got to learn to trust somebody over here, either here or at home. Joe Ford said, blind, crippled, or crazy, there's someone for you out there. Yeah, it is. But remember, we're blind, crippled, and crazy. They're thinking that it's the other way around, like 18 to 80 blind, crippled, or crazy or foreigners going to take you. No, we're not. I got some sad news for you. Yeah, I'm bringing a lot to the table. Yeah, what about me? That's what we're saying. A Hollywood Baby says, hey, Cal, the last video was classic, bro. Make them women work for it like it's a job. That's right. We work to the bone, and they don't put in any and want the world from you. You're definitely right, man. See, you get it, man. There's a lot of men out there I knew who's going to understand that video because it's for y'all, really. The message is for the Filipino, but I told Marilyn, she was holding the camera, shaking. It was only 7 minutes. I said, this is for my men subscribers, 92% of them. We need to hear this, because we're being taken for granted. Hell, just to get over here is a job, Hollywood Baby. Just coming over here. Look at the money. Look at the time. Look at the expense that it takes just to get over here. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. What's the deal with these tour packages like this? They're playing on that the woman is the prize over here. That's what they're getting on. And they just keep ingraining that into your subconscious mind. And then you start thinking it. Kay Dallas says we can always make it about the woman. Sometimes you got to love yourself. Yeah, you got to say, man, look, what's in it for me? What about me? I matter. We matter, guys. We leaving some big-ass footprints over here. Y'all saw the video I did the other day of Clegg. He's a good brother, man. Built that 6 million peso house over there. What makes, why shouldn't he have the cream of the crop? Why shouldn't his woman be at her absolute best when she's dealing with him? Why should he accept anything less than that? A $6 million peso house over here? Her family is literally removed from the poverty circles now. But yeah, trust is something else. We got to learn to trust somebody, man, over here or over there with our important documents. One thing that we do as foreigners over here, and I see it all the time, and I don't understand why. Privacy is one thing, guys, but isolating is another. I had to get on my buddy Oliver yesterday. I won't tell you his last name. I said, man, you isolating over here. What's going on with you, man? You need to reach out to me because I sent him a message. He never reached back. And hell, we got over to his house, man, and he spilled his guts. He's going through some stuff, but you got to learn to trust somebody. Don't leave your country without telling somebody where you're going, where you're going to be, how they can reach you. It's not about, I don't want anybody knowing my business. You will if you have a damn stroke over here. And while I'm on that, man, it's just some sad news. Remember the little guy I told you that had the heat stroke over here playing soccer? He passed away, sadly, man. He passed away, man, but because what I was going to do before he died, a lot of the people, he was well liked over here. I was going to, bring the mother on and, just kind of set up something for him because, hospital bills and stuff, he was on a respirator and everything, man. But he died. And, he had a heat stroke over here. So be careful when you're over here, man. Drink a lot of fluids. You can talk about how hot Texas is and Arizona and all those things, man. But when you over here, the humidity and everything, you have to be careful. You're 8,000 miles from home. But yeah, let somebody know where you are, man. It's one thing to be private. It's another thing to isolate and cut yourself off. You want somebody to know where you are just in case. What happens if you're kidnapped over here? If they don't know where you are, how they going to file a missing person report if you don't keep in constant communication with somebody? But yeah, I put that on there. Open lines of communication back home. That's what I was just talking about. Don't isolate here, man. Let somebody know where you are, man, and what you're doing. Will Sutton says, I hope they can count on that person sleeping beside you on a regular. Yeah, see, I got that on here. Make sure that you can trust the woman that you're with or the man. Make sure you can trust them that they're going to do the right thing. And that's only going to come over time. T. Holmes says, LOL, you always point out some real facts. Yes, just real life stuff. I got a real life channel. I'm not looking for trying to get clicks, man. I could make all that stupid stuff if I wanted to. I think we talk too much about women anyway, period, over here, and not enough about other things that really matter over here. You're going to have a woman if you don't have nothing else, but it doesn't matter. We just want to be reassured over and over and over. And, it's just a old story, man. Yeah, she was holding the camera and started shaking. What's up, Franz? Long time, man. Yeah, long time, buddy. I hope everything's going good for you. I know you started a new job. Now, his brother lives in Tanzania. Oh, now, Mr. Pirate Brain says, I missed that last video, Cal. Sounds like it was a fire. Yeah, go on and check it out. It says the message to the Filipina. Foreign men aren't desperate and we won't accept just anything. Step it up. And that's what I mean. Either step it up or we're going to pass you by. They think they can just show up now and that's all they need to do. I'm not a sex pet. If that's all you got, then I'm sorry. Jeffrey Taylor said, tap that thumbs up, everyone, to show Cal appreciation. Man, thank you, brother. And like I said, I can never pay you back for what you did for me with Mr. Lee, man. That was the ultimate hookup. He's funny as hell, man. He's got a lot of business from this channel, too. He thanks me, too. T. White 12 says, your best video since the Jordan rules. A lot of people aren't hip to the Jordan rules, man. But I think we all should have some type of rules foreigners should have some type of rules for their household over here, to kind of coincide with the cultural differences and stuff. Adventure Seeker, thanks for that super chat. He said, thanks for the great content, Cal. I always look forward to your next video and live stream. Well, I appreciate it, man. I really do. I never take anybody's support for granted. I had Chris on here and Sway on here Tuesday, and I was telling them I never saw all this coming, man. But what helped me was the pandemic. Because I talked on this phone for 9 months, but if anybody, any of these big channels over here that say, hey, man, I knew going in that I was going to have a big channel and all the support and all the followers and everything. It's just not true, man. YouTube is not easy. It's hard to do. It has to be a perfect storm, man. And for many of us, it was the pandemic. W Secret Success says, I missed it. Who was the guy that died from the heat stroke? It's a young guy. He went to school with Sahara, our 17-year-old. He was her friend. And Maryland used to always be over to the house. He was out there playing football. And it was hot, man. And he had a heat stroke. And he got home and told his mother that, he was having a headache. And I think he laid down and then, went into convulsions or something, man. It was really sad because he was a real popular young man, 17 years old. I was going to help him, but he died. I was going to help the family. Vince Lawson says, we need to connect with the Filipino men for a support system because they know the inside scoop like Gail's husband. I play basketball, so it's easy for me. Yeah, I mean, as long as you've got somebody you can count on over here. Okay, we're not talking about we're not talking about being friends because, yeah, they can be friends too, but do you have somebody over here? If you go down, they can take that ATM card, go to the ATM, draw out that money, and do the right thing for you. Do you have somebody like that over here, honestly? Do you have anybody over here you can borrow money from that they know that you're good for it, guys? Listen, we're not talking about begging. Sometimes, something comes up, man. You end up, you need a couple of hundred to make it through the month. I would say have at least 3 people you could do that with, man, because it may happen. Filipinos, as much as they love you, they're not going to be able to loan you any money. Honestly, I think you should have some people over here you can count on when things get tough over here. Eli, thanks for that super chat. He says, I'm happy I have you as an elder. Thank you for putting me and the rest of us on game. I really mean it. Thank you, Cal. Yeah, and I really mean it, man, when I say thank y'all for y'all support. I don't take it for granted, man. What's up, Robert? He says, hey, Cal, love watching your videos upstate New York in the house. Thank you, brother. Rob, the Ghost of Pennsylvania says the broke foreign men better watch out. The rich U.S. Navy men have arrived. Well, they've always been here, believe it or not. And they're all up in, that area, that Subic Bay type area. They, them ships can't just come anywhere in the Philippines. They've been here for a while. When my son was born, he was in the hospital. I was watching the news, and this is 2012. They were talking about how the Navy's starting to do their rotations again over here. But remember, it's 110 million people here. This place is spread out. Those Navy men can't be every place at all times, and they're only going to be here for a very short period. But let me go back to the RLV. He made a great point. I skipped it. I'm sorry. See, this is what's hurting a lot of the locals over here right now. Okay, he said, Philippine March inflation 7.6. Now, it's down a little bit from last month because last month it was over 8. But it's far and above what they had predicted. It's like 4.3 or 4.1 or something. It's high, man. Everything is up. I mean, everything. There's nothing that hasn't been affected outside of labor really hasn't been affected. Certain things like that hasn't been affected. What else? Which is a big deal if you're building a house or something like that. Mr. Firebrain says, yeah, the Filipino has to stay on point because Thai women ain't playing. Well, see, they don't even compete with Thai women because Filipinos have such a myth behind them, man. Not realizing that the women today are really riding on the coattails of women back in the day who really rolled out the red carpet for you. The women today, I say it all the time, when you got the whole world telling you how beautiful you are, you're going to start believing it. And a lot of women over here have started to believe it. So they're making these channels and they're putting all they're doing is just basically sitting there, letting you watch them. And they'll have another woman here. I can't watch them. I'm not knocking them because I think it's genius. Corbett Knowles says, I say have plan B in case you need a way out. Okay. A lot of guys I'm talking to, and this makes a great point, especially when he's talking about if you need a way out. You're coming over here with basically a one-way ticket. You're buying either a cheap onward ticket or something like that. I wouldn't do that, man. I'd get away from doing that, guys. Look, in most cases, a round-trip ticket is going to cost it's going to be just as affordable as a one-way ticket. So to do that one-way stuff, man, you're asking for trouble, man. See, here's what we got. Most of us are operating on this. I call it the perfect plan. And as long as everything goes perfectly, we'll be okay. But we know that's not going to happen. But that's how we're working. We don't have any savings. We don't have anybody we can trust. We don't have any health insurance. We're flying by the seat of our pants. And I'm going to tell you, man, that's not a way to go over here, man. You're too far away. And believe it or not, man, you're going to know how people feel about you when you need help, man. That's usually when your real friends show up and the fake friends disappear. So I'm just going to ask you again, who can you count on when the going gets tough in the Philippines? Please have somebody you can count on either here or over there. A support system is very, very important. And I'm not talking about letting somebody take advantage of you. I'm talking about really getting some good tight friends together. Certainly the woman you're laying next to every night. Learn to trust some people, man, because it happens over here, guys. It happens. My buddy John, luckily he had me. He told me a lot of stuff that I put into play when he passed away. But he did have some trust issues because the girl couldn't use his ATM card, which I'm sure John had money in there. Tom's Away says, I've been here almost 6 months, still flying solo, no friends or support group. I have safely weaned, but haven't needed it yet. Yeah, you're going to need a little bit more than that. You're going to need a support group over here. There's very few Filipinos in America that have immigrated, that don't have a support group. This is where I got the idea for this support group from them and how well they've got it set up, how organized it seems to be, even though it's really not organized. It's just the fellow man helping each other. But they know they can get a loan. If they needed a ticket to get back to the Philippines, it's not gonna be a problem, guys. We're not that together over here yet. I ain't talking about some YouTuber getting on here helping somebody. I'm talking about you and the people around you every day. Yeah, some YouTubers. If somebody really needed it and I put them on my channel, y'all know we would do it. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just regular people that you with every single day. You need that, man. I meant to say this too. I'll be damned if the Cash App founder, the guy who created Cash App, was stabbed to death in San Francisco early Tuesday morning. I mean, nobody's safe, man. It's like this guy's I'm sure a billionaire, 43 years old, got everything to live for. No details have come out yet, but I'm like, damn. If he can get stabbed to death, you got to get real close to somebody to stab him. Was it his lover or something? I don't know. See, I'm going to tell you something about these three guys, that you can count on if you need them. You need at least three to say, hey, man, loan me $100. You know I'm good for it. XYZ. I know TJ's one that I got. I've got several. I know TJ's one. I know Franz Prasio Jr. is one. I know Sidney Gibson, Rock Harmon. I've got a handful of guys, man. If I needed some help, even if I needed a ticket getting back home, I could count on them to help me. This is what I'm talking about. We play around with this, guys, too much. We act like, oh, it's no big deal. I've got this perfect plan. That's what we're all operating on. We're responsible men in all other areas of our life. But when we come over here, we live irresponsibly. And we got to fix that, man, because Murphy's Law is here, man. Butch just says Calvin has Curly. He can count on. I love Curly. He's so much smarter than I knew, dog. When Curly was the same age as the other girl, she's a girl. We call her Shirley so that we wouldn't forget their names, Curly and Shirley. When Curly was her age, he was already going outside the gate using the bathroom. Nobody even told him to do that. But Shirley, she hasn't learned yet. I don't know if it's her being a woman doctor or not. Patrick Blackrock P. Money says David Campbell kept preaching that you as a Western man comes last in the Filipino family. Look at how she threw him under the bus. Well, I don't know that situation. But I'm just saying that we matter over here. It doesn't, I don't care what anybody else thinks. We matter. We leave some pretty big footprints over here. It's about time somebody reminded the women over here, that we just ain't going to accept anything anymore. We're not going to tolerate it. But as long as we keep tolerating it, guys, they're going to keep doing it. They're not going to change. No, I don't want my freedom back. I've got a real life channel. I'm happy, man. Even though, listen, I made a mistake, but I'm not going to keep apologizing. It doesn't mean I don't love my woman. I mean, if you can't look, love is action to me. Okay, I can sit up here and talk about how much I love her all. My action speaks a whole lot louder than my words, But now I don't want my freedom. I'm too deep into it right now. But what I do want, and she's heard it loud and clear, is I want better. Okay, I want better. Hey, the dog is running. One says, just dropping by to say hello, Cal. And thanks for the advice, Salt. Coffee on me. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for that super sticker. Mitch, Moments with Mitch says, I don't have much support system here, much less there. Well, this is what we're saying. It's time that you establish, even if it's just us, Mitch, because if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And there's going to come a time when you're going to need somebody over here, man. No man is an island. But this is what we think, man. A lot of us, man, me included, we just get on a plane and come over here. We don't even tell anybody where we're going. We really don't have any plan other than the perfect plan. And we just operate under the guise of, nothing's going to go wrong. But all you have to do is talk to so many people over here, and they'll tell you that if it can go wrong, it's going to go wrong. I'm just saying, Stop skipping over that step. Stop buying these one-way tickets over here, guys. Go ahead and buy the round trip, because I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes you'll get over here, and after 3 months or 6 months, you say, "Oh, it's not for me," or you may have an emergency and have to go home. Well, what happens if you're in between payday and you gotta wait? You're gonna miss the funeral. You're gonna miss saying goodbye to the person over there, whatever it is, because you don't have that round trip ticket. That's the least you should have. I've got $2,500 US. It's on a credit card that I never touch it. I just leave it there, because if something happens to me, that should be enough to at least get me back home, put me up in the hospital for a few, for at least a week or something, so people can find out what my diagnosis is. But I've got some more stuff on here. I've got immigration service. Try to establish a relationship with somebody either in immigration or one of these immigration services, because it comes in handy. They got a lot of information, man, and they can help you. Will Sutton says, "I think we can count on the Sunshine Show's community if no one else, but we still need to introduce yourself, connect to some other brothers that you come across." Yeah, that's why these meet and greets are so important. I say it over and over. It's not to meet me. It's to meet each other. It's to establish some contacts, man, a network. You can't depend on your woman alone over here. She can only do so much. Al Jackson said, "That's what happened to me. I was stranded there in Davao de Oro for 3 months. Luckily, I always have something put away, and my family knew where I was located." Yeah, see? It's going to happen. Oh, okay, that's traveler's insurance. Well, how long is that going to last you, though, Tom? How long does traveler's insurance last? It doesn't last you forever. You're going to need a little bit more than that, but at least you check that box. A lot of us don't even check that box. We try to save that little $40. And then your damn luggage ends up left in Chicago or something like that, or in Dubai. And he said, Cash App days may be numbered now. I don't think so. They're not going to shut that down. It's too lucrative. Yeah, but see, I think y'all get it all wrong about defunding the police. They're not talking about shutting the police down. They're just talking about all that extra money we throw into those police forces over there. They look like paramilitary forces now. That's what they're saying. I'm from the school of, I'm from the old school. I use a lot of common sense, okay? Now, a lot of these ghettos and where a lot of this drug dealing is going on, right? Wouldn't it make better sense if the police, confiscated millions in drug money, that they should turn it over to the neighborhoods instead of turning it over to the police department? Isn't that our money? The money's being earned off of our backs. But no, what does the police do to a disadvantaged neighborhood? They take the money out of that and put it into their departments. I say reinvest that money that you're taking from that dope dealer back into the neighborhoods where he's profiting from. That's what I say. He said, TJ says, I'm one for Calvin. If you don't have my number, please don't at me. What's up, Market Focus? And Geechee Land says, I'm inclined to agree. I want to have some kind of network there. It helps. Even a bank, guys. Because if nothing else, see, I've got a passbook account where the minimum I have to keep in there is 10,000 pesos. So I'm going to always have 10,000 pesos. So if I have to leave the country, I can close that account and I got 10,000 pesos to, stay overnight in Manila, get me something to eat until I get back to my country. But having a network of people over here, support system, is very important, man. No man's an island, man. Even, do you think you could make it on your own without your family? Your job is a support system. Schools are a support system. Yeah, JV. This is what I'm talking about. He said, Cal, don't forget us. We're a part of your support group, too. This community you have hosted will pitch in a little to create your ticket home. Your openness to your life has gained our respect. Thank you, JV. And I'm just saying that as a regular guy over here, I would suggest you have at least 3 people that you can absolutely go to in confidence and say, hey, man, I'm down on my luck. Can you loan me Can you loan me 100, a couple of hundred into the first when I get my check or whatever it is? I think that's very important, man, because you never know what's going to happen. Absolutely, it's going to be more than just financial. Yeah, it's going to be more than just financial. It's going to be somebody you can talk to. See, one mistake we make, and I see it all the time on this channel, live streams and stuff. I don't want to go anywhere where foreigners are. Man, you're crazy. You're going to crave that relationship, that conversation. You're going to crave those relationships after a while because you can't talk about the things with Filipinos that you can talk to with one of your fellow men. They just can't, they're not going to go that deep. We don't understand their problems. They don't understand ours. You need somebody who absolutely gets it. And to have a few people like that, you can't put a price on. A retired 2019 says, I think women get comfortable no matter how good you treat them. Well, I'm just telling you what's happened over here. The Philippines have certainly gotten comfortable. They think we'll accept anything, that they don't have to put their best foot forward all the time. But you got to have your best foot forward all the time. I just think that we need to tell our women, I expect a little bit better. I was expecting a little bit better. And if you're not going to be able to put that out, then I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to make it. I didn't come over here for that. Hey, Tim West, thanks, man. I think, that's the problem. They've gotten too comfortable. Phil Lawrence says, Cash App guy was stabbed, deleted while out and about in the streets of San Francisco. Wow. Yeah. They must have thought he was just a regular guy. No. Not in Louisville, Kentucky, sir. 50 Boomer Medic. He said that confiscated money goes to the city-state budget, not the police department. No, Reagan signed that in. Why do you think they're doing all these busts? In the beginning, they were doing it on purpose because they knew that money was coming in there. Where do you think they get all that fancy equipment and stuff that they got now? But the point is, it shouldn't go to the city-state budget either. Because we know how little of that money, 50 Boomer Medic, that these disadvantaged neighborhoods receive. So if you got some guy down there earning millions of dollars selling drugs in that neighborhood, it would only make sense to reinvest it there where it's really needed. That's just my take. It doesn't mean it's right, but it shouldn't go there either. Okay, she said hand pink waving. Okay. TJ Johnson said that Phil Lawrence, Rincon Hill is a neighborhood where you could quite feasibly see a millionaire, billionaire walking home from the bar at 2 a.m. Not a common sight, but not out of the question. Yeah, I'd like to know what happened to him. Because that was really shocking to me today. Because Mr. Pirate Brain, he asked me, it's funny how he asked me for my Cash App the other day. And now, 2 days later, the man is dead. Chuck 555. He said Columbus, Ohio, checking in. I remember I went to the Ohio State Fair in Columbus back in the 80s. What's up from Houston, Texas, man? Philippine expat prepper says married 17 years, 10 years living full-time here in the Philippines. Me and my wife are partners and support each other. Other than that, I count on what we have on hand. What do you mean? As far as outside of your wife, you can count on your hand the people you can count on. I believe, man, that we need that support group. If you don't have any friends, then become a friend. I mean, we're too far from home to be dealing with this perfect plan, guys. Yeah, it is a great fair. I enjoy myself. And he says, I'm flying to Manila tomorrow. Wow. Yeah, just stand pat in Manila because, man, you talking about Manila's going to be shut down. They're going to have that. When did they have that reenactment of the crucifixion, and then they carrying around that black Jesus, and somebody surely going to die there. Every time they do that, somebody gets trampled or suffocates to death. I'm talking about millions and millions of people. You know, they don't play with religion over here, but they've got this black statue of Jesus that they carry around, and people just want to touch it. And, you know, but it's something you need to see. It really is a spectacle, man. What's up, Rodney Woods II? Thanks for that super chat. He said, salute from KC to Texas. Keep cooking. Thank you, brother. Yeah, that passion. That's what it is, man. All they want to do is reach out and just touch the remnant. And people die, man. At least, you know, several people die every year when they have that. Because it's just millions and millions of people. C White 12 says, Chuck, I was in the horseshoe in 2008 for USC Ohio State. Yeah, he said, it's my home now, Cal, so we need to be ready for anything. Luckily, I found and managed to keep a good woman. Yeah, that helps. Now, are you an American, Australian? I mean, I'm kind of interested to know what type of relationships you have with your wife. Because I don't really have any deep conversations with my wife. Because I don't know we just don't. You know, it's not like, okay, I went to Clegg's housewarming the other day. And hell, I wasn't over there. I was there for a couple of hours, but hell, once we sat down to eat, me and him, we immediately started just talking about some deep stuff. And it got real interesting, just like that. If you're not an American, I can't do that with you. But at least, you know, I can get that sort of exercise every now and then. What's up, Derek? Oh, okay. He said majority of the crucifixion will be in the province of Pampanga tomorrow. Now, RLV, what about that black Jesus? Is that sort of like a parade or something where they take it through the streets? And, you know, all those people, millions of people. Yeah, that's Michael Beach of Life. I know you asked me about General Luna and you asked me about Surigao. I've never been to either. But me and Marilyn, after the Holy Week, we want to go to we want to go to Puerto Galera. But hell, I was just reading last night that that oil spill is, you know, did y'all see that big oil spill that happened over here? It's headed toward Palawan. It said it's already touched parts of Mindoro. Hybrid 711 says, I think the money goes to city or state budget cap. Well, you know, the point of it is It shouldn't go there. It should go back to the neighborhood, these poor neighborhoods, these disadvantaged neighborhoods that they're earning their money from. That's our money. Wouldn't it make better sense if, because the services that the city and the state provide, it's not equal. It's not fair. More of it goes to the rich and wealthy areas that basically don't need it, and the disadvantaged communities are neglected. Hey, WLB comments. Thanks for that super chat. He said, need to go eat lunch. Have a good day, Cal. Oh, he's prepper. Oh, okay. Wow, 10:20, man. You eating lunch early. Martin Pete Vincelli says, hey, Cal, I just wanted to say I've been watching your channel for some time and I appreciate you. Thank you. Look like you got what is that, a bass guitar? Oh, yeah, he says hopping in Angleese all week, the parades. Yeah, but it was just something that came out of my mind. I'm like, why are they taking this money out of these neighborhoods? What if they reinvested it there? Wouldn't that make sense? But we're asking the question today, who can you count on when the going gets tough in the Philippines? Do you have at least 3 people that you can count on, that you can trust over here? Do you have health insurance? Why is it that we're so responsible at home when we come over here and we live irresponsibly? So few of us have a health insurance plan. And I don't understand why. You would never go without health insurance at home. So why would you go without health insurance over here? Does your family and friends back home know where you are, besides just knowing that you're in the Philippines? You need to let them know exactly where you are and where you're going to be on any given day, just in case something happens, just in case Murphy's Law shows up. They say, yeah, well, the last time I talked to him, he told me he was going to be in Angleese City. Then they can start there in Angleese City. But if they say, hey, he's just in the Philippines, well, hell. Then they're going to go to immigration and see, well, where's the last place he extended? And that'll narrow it down a little bit. But I think we need to start trusting some people. It's one thing to be private, but it's another thing to start. Don't isolate over here, guys. Let people know where you are and what you're doing. What's up, Green Dreams? He said, Calvin, you're too cool, man. I don't know about that. You know, they called me, I was square growing up. Curtis Thomas said, what's up, Cal? I just saw the video about it being about us. That's what I tell my girlfriend all the time. She must make me happy first. Well, that's not so much about making you happy first, making us happy first. It's just that we matter. I mean, it's got to a point now where it's like we don't matter over here. Like, okay, we're over here waiting. We're the prize. We're over here waiting for you guys to get over here. And once you get over here, by the way, I may or may not have my hair done. I may or may not have my nails done. You know, what are you going to do for me? Me. It's never about us. But I believe if you're going to keep a foreign man around, if you're going to keep him faithful and satisfied, you got to stop making it all about you. Bushler says people need to make new friends wherever they go. He says, I agree. I believe it. I believe that's a fact. Oh, okay. The Black Nazarene Jesus procession is in Quiapo, Manila, every January. Oh, okay. I thought it was around Easter. Council this year, only mass attended by 514,000. Wow. So I don't know. Sam Champion says, Cal, I'm only here for a short time, just sitting back listening to all the great advice you're handing out for free. Guys, you all better take this in. Thanks, Sam. And I keep forgetting, man. I'm gonna do it today. I've got actually. I can send you an email in my Gmail with those um, icons you're looking for. D7 said, Calvin, do you think the foreign men are spoiling the women? Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. They really are getting something for nothing. Women have gotten comfortable over here. It's like they don't have to do anything. And, but hey, if we're going to accept that, if we're going, if that's the message we keep sending, I mean, I'm not saying it, guys. You just look at it. There's a history over here. You can see it. I mean, of course we're spoiling them. It's beyond spoiled. And what do you think spoiled means? It means no good anymore. You can't use anything that's been spoiled. You basically got to throw it away because it's no good. This is a great, great, great advice right here. I'm going to add something to it. It says, Jim Cruz says, everyone needs to register with the U.S. Embassy. And the way you do that is the STEP program, the Smart Travelers program, guys. At least they'll know you're over here other than swiping your passport and the Red Cross in case something does happen. Now, the embassy is going to, even though it's there, it's good to register with them so they'll know you're here. They can do very little. They can do very little for you, and they do very little for you. TJ Johnson said, damn, I can't even get excited for the PH next month, knowing I got to pack up and move cross country between then and now. Wow. Yeah, you're moving from New York to Seattle. Then how are you going to do that? How are you taking all your stuff? Are you putting it in storage? Jack Marsh says, you're always spot on, Cal. Tell it, my brother. Hello from Tennessee. My fiance is in Tagalone. We've been in a relationship since February. I love your channel over all the others. Thank you, Jack, man. It means a lot. Because there's a lot of channels out here, bro. I promise you that. But I just think I needed to send a message to the men today. Because nobody talks to us anymore. It's like we don't matter. But I'm telling you that we matter, man. We leave some big-ass footprints over here. We do far too much over here to be taken for granted, man. And unless we put our foot down, they're going to continue to take us for granted. Start throwing some of these women back. Start saying, no, you don't meet my expectations. And see what happens. Things are going to start changing. But here's the problem. And Merlin told me this because I didn't really know. But she said, yeah, Cal. She said, she didn't say Cal, but she said, honey, Filipinos think that foreigners are desperate. And so when we see a foreigner with a Filipino that's not so attractive, it makes our point. It's like, y'all accept anything. And they really believe that. But when you start saying, no, look at all I'm bringing to the table, at least give me a 6. Well, hey, booby. I don't know. Okay, I'm on my live stream. She's telling me that we got company in there. It's a police friend and his girlfriend. They're a great couple. The Filipino couple. They're real close to Maryland. They helped her a lot, when she was by herself. This is the one I told you, he's been with the police force over 30 years. I think he earns about 70 or 75,000 pesos a month. Actor, he says, bro, you're a blessing, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the world. But thank you, man. A lot of what I know, somebody taught me. But most of it is my life experiences. Good luck, Chuck. Says, hey, Cal, any advice for reducing the pain on the crazy long flight there from the U.S.? Any recommendations on which airline? Well, a lot of people, they don't like those layovers, but I actually like the layover. I mean, it gives me a chance to get my head back together, relax, and depending on what airline you're flying, what airport you lay over in, Booby, get out of here. Go in there. She's acting shy. You know, people, take a shower. You know, if you're flying to Incheon, guys, and you can show them your onward ticket, you get a free shower. If anybody know that, you know that it's free. And they got it's a real shower. And it goes handy. But that, and I'll do, he says, any recommendations on which airlines. If you're coming to Asia, does it make sense to fly on an Asian airline? Which I do. I took that advice. Somebody told me that advice. Because I used to fly Delta. I've even flown United a couple of times. But from now on, it's either Cathay Pacific, I don't think they come here anymore from the States. You can check and see if they do. ANA, Korean Air, Japan Airlines. I don't know what EVA is. Oh, okay, a medium-sized truck. Wow. He says, if work wasn't covered, I'd cry bloody hell. Even driving is expensive. So who's going to drive that? Are you going to drive? You going to drive cross country, TJ? Wow. How long will that take? It's going to take about 2 or 3 days. But Elijah Van Warmer said, thanks for speaking the truth, Cal. You're welcome, man. I got a real life channel. I just talk about common sense stuff, really, man. I mean, isn't that common sense, man, that we should matter as much as we're bringing to the table? Look on your YouTube feed right now, and you're going to see the videos that's going to come up. And they all addressing her needs and what it is she wants and desires and all of that. It's like, they have no idea. See, somebody needs to tell them that they can't go anywhere. I can go to Brazil. I can go to Colombia, the DR. I can go to all of these different places. What makes them think that they're so great that I'm supposed to just accept whatever it is they bring to the table? I'm sorry, man. I'm just being honest. Market Focus, thanks for that super chat. He said, keep doing your thing, my brother. Your channel saved me from a lot of trouble in the Philippines, man. You know, I appreciate that, man, because I was going back and forth with a guy in my comments, and he was saying, well, he says, I thought you said that Filipino women were the best wives or something like that. He said, now you're singing a different tune. He said, I'm confused. I said, don't be confused. I said, if you looked at the video and listened to it, instead of trying to beat me over the head, you'll see that I told you I took off those rose-colored glasses. I said, but here's the point I made with him. I said, stop acting like you listening to what I'm telling you anyway, because you don't. I said, that's the problem. When men get off the plane, they forget everything I say, and that's okay. But don't act like you're listening and following everything I say point by point, because you're not doing it. Yeah, Singapore Airlines. Yeah, all the Asian airlines, man. It makes sense to me. So that's what I start doing. But yeah, thanks, Market Focus. You know, it's just that I'm trying to share my boots on the ground experience with people to make their trip here more enjoyable and above all things safer. I'm not the gospel on the Philippines. I'm not an expert or know-it-all. I just tell you stuff I've experienced, things I'm seeing, living and experiencing. Maybe it can help you. Maybe it can't. Maybe it's totally different than what you experience when you get over here. But that's just my channel. It doesn't mean when I make a video that you got to agree with me and you got to push back on me. It doesn't mean it's just coming from me. Like my video today. This is just the way I see it. Doesn't make it right, but it does. You know, if you look at it, man, you know, if you've been over here as long as I have and you see the things I've seen, you saying these women really getting comfortable over here. They really do think we're desperate. They really do think that we'll accept anything because that's what we've been doing. They don't have to do anything. What, just spread your legs? I'm not a sex pack. Is that what you got to do? And I'm supposed to buy you a house and lot and take care of your family and do all the other things we do? I mean, why is that wrong for me to ask that question? Why is it wrong for me to demand better? Because they didn't. I'm going to tell you guys, I said it the other day. If you think you got unrealistic expectations over there, you ain't seen nothing yet. Watch when you start dealing with these Filipino women on a daily and see the expectations they have for you. You've got to be perfect. Yeah, Qatar Airlines, he says, my best experience. What? What is that? What do you want me to do, Booby? You want to say hello to everybody one time? Booby wants to say hello. Say hello. Get out of here. What do you want? Shut the door. Trying to be shy. What's going on, Brian? He said just made it in this past Sunday for a second trip. Oh, wow. What's up, Cal? Good to see you streaming still. Yeah, I know you're having a good time, man. I love it here, man. It's just something about I can't hardly describe it because people always want to know, why do you like that place? They'll look at it. They're on the outside looking in. And they always want to know, how could I love this place? Based on what they're seeing. I'm seeing something totally different. And, so they start talking about Thailand and they start talking about Singapore. And those places, have their own good things. But I just like the laid back atmosphere here, man. It's what I needed right now in my life. To get away from that rat race. This was the perfect place for me. To get away from that rat race, man. There you go. Have a nice day, he says, from the Midwest to the Northeast. Fly to Detroit, change planes, then 13 hours to Seoul, then 4 hours to Manila. And so you can rent a bed, get a massage, then go on to the Philippines. Yeah, but you get a free shower if you show them that onward ticket. He says Korean Airlines. Yeah, I love Korean Airlines. TJ says, all right, yeah, Qatar on bids for sure. Even though I haven't flown it into Philippines, I can extrapolate. Jim Cruz says, it's just a matter of time before China shoots down 9 Chinese flights over disputed waters. I hope you're wrong, man, even though that same thing crossed my mind, but I just don't see. China's just not that type of aggressor. But I hope you're wrong, man, because, it's far too many innocent people dying in this foolishness, man. What happened to the diplomacy? I know the U.S. shot down a plane before. What was that? Pan Am flight something? The Navy, remember the Navy shot that plane down? I know that somebody else shot down. Was it Ukraine or Russia shot down a commercial airliner? I mean, it's just because so many people make those flights, man. I don't even want to put that out there in the universe. Don Ridgway says, Champion, I'm originally from Marion County in central Kentucky. Yeah, Marion County, man. What was the guy who used to play for UK from Marion County? The guard. I forgot his name. Mike Dawsonville says, hey, brother Cal, Qatar Air flight from Miami, I can only do first class to the Philippines. Yeah, a lot of people can only do first class to the Philippines. Well, I'm not one of them because I can't afford it. Now, I've been upgraded from Manila to Detroit and from Manila to Chicago before on my way back, but never coming to the Philippines. And I'm going to tell you something, that Man, who is this Chiseler? I'm gonna get rid of this guy because I don't know what that means. Thanks, Jack Marsh, for that super sticker. Hey, get rid of this self guy. Chiseler. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I mean, people should have more, what in the world what do you do with your time over there? Hey, Prototype, 1985, you said, respect, Kevin, good, God bless. Thank you. Hybrid 711 says, interesting, you're talking about these kind of videos. I've been seeing them lately in my YouTube feed, but I don't watch them. Yeah, every day is a new one. And, I mean, I can't blame them because it's an easy hustle for them. Once they get monetized. And who doesn't want to look at a beautiful Filipino talking about sex? I saw one, she was talking about the Filipino fears in the bedroom, and she was talking about, videos that I couldn't do, really. She's talking about oral sex, anal sex, and something else she was talking about. And I was like, wow. I think she's in Thailand, too, the lady is. But, I mean, at the same time, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, why are y'all doing this to yourself? Why are you cheapening yourself? You're cheapening Filipinos, you're cheapening the country. You should be coming out with something a lot more bolder than that foolishness. I mean, really, think about that. There you go. Have a nice day. They said China threatens just like North Korea since the 50s. China's really, they're not warmongers, man, like we are. We're warmongers. I can't remember the last time America wasn't in some type of conflict. I'll be 60 years old next month. It's God's will and the creek don't rise. Yeah, that was Russia shooting down a Malaysian airline, I think. Yeah, but the United States, we shot down a plane too. Because it wouldn't identify itself. And we shot it down. Killed a bunch of people. Will Sutton says, I was a little on the edge taking China Airlines into Taiwan back in October. But I don't know why you would be now. They get some terrible reviews. I read a review where it says clearly somebody was smoking on the plane, the China Airlines, because they give you some cheap tickets, man. I remember I had booked a ticket for $400 and something round trip. Okay, right before it's in 2018, but I canceled it when I read that review. And then they said that the flight attendants don't speak English, they're rude. And I said, nah, I don't care. I'll pay the extra $100. And so I went ahead and purchased my ticket on Cathay Pacific. But it clearly said, yeah, it was, somebody was smoking on the plane. No, not Devin Booker. He's not from Marion County. He said, how much is a first class ticket? Usually somewhere around $3,000 or $4,000. Depending on when you buy it, though, guys. Remember, certain days, I wish Dana Middleton was on here. He would have that answer. But it's certain days of the week when the ticket is cheaper. Yeah, Anthony Epps. That's who I'm talking about. Yeah, that's it, Don. Yeah, he said my sister still lives in Louisville. You're out in Texas somewhere right now, Don, right? Quintessential wants a peace and prosperity to the family. Thanks, Brother Cal. You're welcome. What's up, Kamal? The global vagabond said China's not going to shoot down anything. They would just turn off the GPS and prevent all the planes from taking off to begin with. This hurts the economy much worse than a few airplanes being shot down. Yeah, I don't like to even put that out there in the universe because, man, could there be a worse nightmare than that? You're up there watching a movie and all of a sudden the damn plane is blown in half. You haven't died yet, by the way. because the planes is blown in half. So you got a few seconds to think, oh, hell, I'm dead. And, if you're going to be in a plane crash, man, it's best to just hit that damn hyper speed and pass out and wake up wherever you're going to wake up. But to actually sit there and know that, just for a few seconds, know that, damn, this is how I'm going to go out. TJ Johnson said, you've seen my Facebook stories, Cal. I'm picky when it comes to long haul, but I'm not above economy when it makes lots of sense. Yeah, in my case, it makes a whole lot of dollars and cents, TJ, but I know you don't scrimp on your travel. I just wish I had enough points and all that stuff to fly first class, because I would do it. The 2 times that I did it, it's just a different experience, man. It's not, you can't even compare first class with, it's like being on a whole different airplane. I love the chances. I remember that, Cal. The plane didn't have a transponder on, and a U.S. warship shot it down. Yeah, I think it was a military plane. Yeah, this was in the 80s. This was a big deal. What's up, Bachelor of Science? Larry Lindsay says, how about you get some Philippine people that can help us with how to get a visa and all that people need when they come to the Philippines? Well, I've had that, Larry. Remember now, when you talk about the SRV, you got to start the process at home, Larry. You know, from the people that I've talked to who've had them, Cornelius Mack, Sidney Gibson, Robert White, the guys who have it, they start that process at home because there's some things you have to get done at home. FBI clearance, apostille, and all that stuff. And then you do all you can do there, and then you come here and they kind of finish the job. But I had a guy on here. It's in my library. But all you have to do, if you're in Cebu, if you're in Dumaguete and certain places, JRC Consultancy, man, they're about as sharp as anybody. And I don't get paid. I'm not endorsing them or anything. I'm just telling you the experience I've had with them. Every time I go in their office in Dumaguete, somebody's been given their SRRV. But you have to start it over there. Okay, Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay. He's from Austin, Texas. Filipinas Perspective. What's up? She said, good morning, Cal. Yeah. And I don't knock anybody for making those videos, but I think they need to be a little bit more well-rounded. Some of these women, man, they're just on there, it's cringy. What's the girl, Jenna Lynn, the little half black, half Filipino girl? I feel sorry for her. I wish somebody would take her to the side and kind of help her with her videos, because they're just going to look at her videos right now because, she's young, she's sexy, and they love that. But, I mean, she's simply just reading off a card, asking these women the same question. I would help her if I knew her. Yeah. Get in there. But, I mean, she'll get better, I guess, as she keeps making them. But right now, I feel sorry for her. It's really sad to see. Hey, John Shannon, you say, hey, Cal, big fan. Thank you. You go in there and quit acting like you shy at them people. Okay, Mr. Power Brain says, yeah, Cal, I'm a big man, 350 pounds. That trip to the Philippines economy would be uncomfortable for me. Yeah, I would probably do that then. Be able to lay back and relax and everything. But I've seen it done before. My thing is I always get up and walk around a lot when I'm on that plane. Especially, I always get an aisle seat. Because for some reason, I don't know if it's the pressure up there, but it makes me go to the restroom. I pee a lot when I'm up there. Okay, yeah, Philippines Perspective says at the Beach of Life. Yes, I'm one of a big fan of him. Well, I appreciate it. You're looking good on that profile picture, by the way. What's up, Earl? He said it should be better. First class in the Philippines is 4 times the money. Yeah, yeah, it better be. If I could afford it, I would only fly first class because it's a whole other world. You know, whole other world. They even treat you better on the ground before you even get on the plane. They got those nice lounges, and I mean, it's just you pay for it, you get what you pay for. That's the bottom line. There you go. Have a nice day. Says think about flying through Guam to the Philippines, probably safer than through Korea or Taiwan. Yeah, well, you're probably gonna have to take United, and United is so cheap, man, that I won't fly United to the Philippines anymore. Because I flew there before, and I was shocked. It was 2015, and from Chicago to Hawaii, they don't serve a meal. You got to buy it because remember, it's still domestic. And even from Hawaii to Guam is considered domestic. So from all the way from Chicago to Guam, you got to buy your food. They may give you a Coke and a bag of chips or something like that. And I was shocked. I didn't realize it. I thought that of any flight over 4 hours, you had to serve a meal or something. Maybe they changed it. But yeah, that United, they're cheap, man. I mean, they're really cheap. What's up, Kevin? Here, it's a good day, brother, in chat. Thank you. Yeah, we're talking about who can you count on when the going gets tough in the Philippines or wherever you are in the DR. Because Chris Williams, remember Chris who was on the panel Tuesday? He's in the DR now. And I want to bring him back because I want him to do a comparison between the DR and the Philippines. Is there anybody else on here that can actually do that comparison? I know John Gomez can and wants to be on the panel because obviously if you're in America, people are going to say, well, the DR is closer. The Beach of Life says, I use JRC exclusively. It's an amazing experience. They are very awesome. Yeah, they're very knowledgeable. They're very professional. They're very efficient. And, I mean, they get it done, man. I mean, imagine all the years that I would do the extensions myself. And it costs you 1,000 pesos to do it, which an extension is nothing to do. But when you use them, they do everything. You just give them the passport. You can go on about your business. You don't have to sit there and keep checking back. They do everything for you. And so that's what I do now. I don't even fool with immigration anymore. The Bachelor of Science says, does anyone know is it possible to get a Philippine bank account or tourist visa? I did. And I know a couple of people that have done it. But there's some qualifications. First of all, you have to be here for 59 consecutive days. And of course, once you do that second extension, they apply for your ACR card. You have to wait till you get that back. So that's another 30 days. So you have to be here for about 90 days consecutively. Get that card. So you got your license or state ID, your passport, and your ACR card. Then, of course, if you're in America, you got to fill out that W-9. Now, every bank won't let you do it. It's a trial and error. John told me about the bank I had. I won't say it publicly, but if you email me or anything, I'll tell you what bank I've got. They did it for me, but not after a bunch of, they're going to vet you, man. They're going to vet you because of a lot of the money laundering and stuff that you can imagine that goes on over here. It was a big case where I forget how many millions of dollars was stolen. Was it from Malaysia? One of those countries. It was stolen over here in the Philippines, and then they tried to launder it through the casinos and stuff like that. The people were eventually caught, but the fact of it was, I want to say $20 million. I'd have to look that up. TJ says, PAL's the only direct flight from California to Manila, and at different points I've flown it: econ, pre-con, and biz. Yeah, economy, premium economy, and biz. Yeah, I believe that's, what is that? San Francisco, right? To Manila. Mike Dawsonville says the best way I purchase my tickets, I buy my tickets 60 days prior. I always get the best price. That's what I did coming over here, Mike. And that's great advice. You're going to get a good price. Because that's what I did. I bought my ticket in October for a December departure. Okay, Brian Treshman says, at Bachelor of Science, I don't think so. I prefer bank cards that don't charge international fees or ATM fees. Check out Charles Schwab Bank and Sophie. Well, you can, it just depends. Like I said, it's hit and miss. Some banks won't do it. Some banks will. But they take you through the ringer to do it. And I would say if you could get one, if you're going to be an expat over here and you're able to get a bank account, I would say do it. Because that transfer fee is not that expensive when you compare it to those ATM fees and those remittance fees. But you have to be disciplined. You just have to do that one transfer and be done with it. Our problem is we run back and forth to the ATM like a damn crackhead. We say, oh, I'm just going to run to the ATM one time and that's it. And we end up doing it 5 times. Well, you do that over and over throughout the month, and you're going to look back and be like, damn, man, I gave away $150. No. He says, Joe Shannon said, you recommend getting a background check on my girlfriend. She's from the Providence and Lady. I mean, what kind of background check are they going to do? A lot of people over here don't even have a birth certificate. I mean, what are they going to background check? The best way to vet a woman here is just to go around her friends and family. If you hang around long enough, you're going to find out everything you need to know about the young lady. You're wasting money. Background check. I mean, what are they going to do? What are they going to check? My son's mother thought she was 2 years older than she was. She didn't have a birth certificate. She had the day right, but not the date. So when I got her passport, I paid to get her passport. She found out her birthday was 2 years. She was 2 years younger. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, but I think it's a waste of money. Of course, the investigator is going to take your money. Not a whole lot he can do. Let somebody. What's he going to check? What do you mean? What, does she have a criminal record or something like that? Is that what you're trying to do? You'll know that soon. After you meet her, you can vet her yourself. You're just wasting money. Yes, have you met her yet? Okay, he says, yeah, we live together, but things are not really adding up. Well, hell, if it's not, then what are you still doing there? You're your own investigator. If you've already done the work, and it's not adding up, just ask her straight out. Just tell her, whatever's bothering you. But hell, he said, what's not adding up? Yeah, Will, you could have tried. I got one. Yeah, well, hell, they're going to have a bunch of social media accounts. See, I don't like that. That's a red flag to me. But, remember now, as long as you're putting up with it, she's going to continue to do it. When are you going to put your foot down? That's all I'm saying. Many email accounts, yeah, man, you need to make a decision. Yeah, sex ain't that damn good. Not to keep me up at night wondering what the hell she's doing. Because some things are too good to give up, man. If you're dealing with a woman and men are sending her money, you think she's gonna cut that off because she's with you? Especially if she can keep you at arm's length and from finding out. S says, hey Cal, which province would you recommend to first for the first time brother? Man, I wouldn't recommend the province the first time. The only time you want to go to the province is with her for the first time. You don't want to live there. You got to stay in that expat alley, guys. Listen, for your first time over here. Because some of these places where these people live, man, you cannot handle it. It takes, it's levels to this. It takes a while for you to get up to the point where, okay, I can deal with this. You're not going to be able to do it. So you go to Manila, Angeles City, Cebu City, Davao, Dumaguete, Iloilo, Bacolod, like that. General Santos City, even Zamboanga City. But you don't start off in that province. And some of this stuff, man, I'm going to tell you, man, I'm just telling you, I'm not putting anybody down or anything. But some of the way some of these people live, you couldn't handle it. There's no, you meet her in Cebu and then let her take you there. But you don't start off there. Because it's really going to be a problem. I mean, really, if I was really going to give you the nitty gritty, a lot of women, man, it's almost like they live outside, some people. It's that bad. There's no running water. It's no fault of their own. Remember, it doesn't make me better just because the wheel of life stopped and let me off in America, and the wheel of life stopped and left them off in the Philippines or the Congo or wherever it's like that. I'm just telling you what I've seen over here. You don't want to walk directly into that. Certainly not try to stay there. You're not going to do it. It's going to be a culture shock to you when you see them washing dishes with cold water. You're going to be like, it doesn't make sense to me. But a lot of things don't make sense to you over here. They never will, and they're not supposed to because you're in the Philippines. You're not in America or wherever you're from anymore. And as long as you never forget where you are, you're going to be okay. If something starts not seeming right to you and you remember, I'm not on Wall Street. I'm in Cebu, then you're probably going to come back down to earth a little bit. But you come over here expecting things to be exactly the way they are at home, you're going to have a problem. Sam Champion said, Cal, when my wife was there last fall, she used my Naval Federal Credit Union debit card, and the fee was only 0.001% to the dollar, which is quite reasonable in my opinion. Yeah, now that's what they're going to charge. But remember, Sam, the bank that she used the ATM is going to charge you 250 pesos. So you're losing that and the 0.001%. Yeah, I had a brownout, guys. I'm sorry. I had a quick brownout. Yeah, it was a brownout. It only lasted like brownout. Booby said it was a brownout. Yeah, he says, how big was the bucket? Yeah, you're gonna have to get used to a lot of stuff. You don't want to go straight to that province, man. I'm just being honest with you. Or you may end up regretting it. Even the first time when my son's mother took me up there in the deep province, y'all saw I've made a video up there before. There's no CR up there, see. So once I figured that out, I wouldn't eat anything while I was up there. Certainly wouldn't drink anything when I was up there because I knew they were right. I mean, they were in the deep province, and if you had to use the bathroom, you just had to go out in the trees and use the bathroom. And I'm not trying to do that, because that's the only time I seen a snake skin up there. And I'm like, well, where there's a snake skin, there's snakes. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm not pulling my underwear down, taking a dump, and something crawl around my legs. He said, do they understand CR? It means comfort room, bathroom. That's all. 11 o'clock news, Hybrid 711 says, breaking news in Quantico, Virginia. Suspect stopped on a traffic stop and exchanged gunfire with the police. A lot of robberies and shootings in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Wow. Yeah, I seen that snake skin. I said, well, I got to thinking, well, if there's a snake skin up here, there's a snake. But they were used to it, but I wasn't. But to be honest with you, I did eat a little bit of the native chicken soup because I wasn't going to have the mother go through all that trouble of doing that for me and then I not eat. But yeah, you want to stay away from that province. Probably the first time you're here, you got to work your way up to that. TJ Johnson said, I don't think I could date someone from the cuts at this point. My no Issen visits. Rule extends to the Issens of the world. You just got to be careful, man. I mean, you may see something up there that may change your whole mind up even about the girl. Now, all provinces aren't the same. Some are mountain provinces, and all of them aren't like that. Some people have nice houses there, but more than likely the person you're dealing with is not. He says the province home won't have hot water. Philippines don't like a hot shower. And by the way, maybe they would let you asphalt 200 meters to the river and get the 2 to 5 gallon buckets so you can take a shower. Yeah, I don't have to have a hot shower anymore. As a matter of fact, unless I'm in a hotel or Airbnb, I don't need a hot shower. Ray Skillen says, wishing you a happy Easter to you and your listeners, Cal. Thanks, Ray. The holiday starts today here, really. I think it's Maundy Thursday. So if you're trying to travel in the Philippines, I wouldn't do it. I'd stay pat, man. Wherever you are, if you're in Cebu, stay there, man. Don't try to go to Boracay and all those places. I'd just wait until Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, you have to boil your water. That happened to me down in, I stayed in the squatters area, but remember, our squatters area is not the same down in Zamboanga during the lockdowns. And her mother, for about the first month, I was drinking my coffee straight out of the faucet. You know, that was a faucet water. And boy, you talking about mad when I found that out, but nothing happened to me. I didn't get sick or anything. So maybe that does work. What's up, Xavier? He says, hey, Cal, hey, Beach of Life, letting you know I'm in the house. Just checking in. Thank you. Mark says, my wife told me I couldn't handle her home in the province the first time I came to see her. I told her I lived for months in the desert. I could handle it. Well, that's a whole lot different, man, than the desert. Because, yeah, they're good. See, now, in the squatters area I lived in, and he's talking about rats. Robert Dane, let me read this first. He said, giant rats running loose and they are hungry, can't sleep at night. Put my mattress up on the table. And see, there's rats in that squatters area, but they never would come down on the ground. But hell, that was enough to scare me. I'd see them up there because, you know, we lived, it was called Riverville. We lived right next to the river. And that was just one thing about living that I didn't like. Because, hell, I wasn't, it had been years upon years since I seen a actually rat in a house. You know, I'm not above that because, you know, I've seen that in America, but it's been when I was little. You know, I'm 60 now, and you just don't see them. But, man, yeah, they'd be scampering across the woodwork and the rails up there. And one thing you're going to see over here, more likely in that province or squatters area somewhere, is those big house spiders, man. They're not going to hurt you, but they're going to scare you to death when you see one for the first time. I mean, I couldn't sleep at night because this one was pregnant. It just looked like something out of a horror movie, man. I mean, it was huge. It was about this big, believe it or not. I'm not exaggerating. And it crawled across the ceiling. Satu D'Souza says, Cal, if you were 48-year-old and never been to Asia, would you choose Thailand over the Philippines because of the infrastructure and the food? Well, you know, that stuff only going to matter, man, if the infrastructure in the Philippines is good enough to do whatever you're trying to do. I mean, you can do both. Okay, because it was my first time being in Asia, and I came to the Philippines, and I'm no worse off for choosing the Philippines than Thailand. Probably better off, you know, but it just depends. I'm a grunt, guys. I keep reminding y'all that. I can handle a simple life. It don't take a whole lot to impress me. You know, I don't have to have all that modern stuff. You know, the thing that appeals to me about the Philippines is the peace and quiet. And I'm talking about even the roosters and the laid-back lifestyle. Now, over in Thailand, it's going to be like it's just like me being at home. When I got to Bangkok, if I was able to read, if the signs would have been in English, it would almost been like being at home. Okay? Does Thailand have a better infrastructure than the Philippines? Absolutely. Do they have more food choices than the Philippines? Absolutely. But the Philippines, the infrastructure and the food is not so bad that you're not going to be able to enjoy yourself here. It's not going to be a deterrent. So either way it goes, you can't lose, really. But like I said, I was a 45-year-old that had never been to Asia, and I chose the Philippines. I think I'm I don't know what's going on with my internet today. But Mike Dawsonville says, I love the province. That's why I relax my mind waking up in the morning. Yeah, but I love the province too now that I've been here for so long and I'm able to deal with it. But for somebody first coming to the Philippines, my first trip, I didn't see I didn't see the province. The closest thing to the province was on the way in Lapu-Lapu to from the airport to the Tamboli Beach Resort. Yeah, he says, I'm fairly used to cold showers. It's actually refreshing now. The water here is not cold. It's cool at best, but right now in the summer, this is considered their summer, it's actually lukewarm. Well, he said, now I'm trying to live with damn rats. Where are you in Chicago? Yeah, it's been a long time since I seen a rat. Mr. Bullard, thanks for that super chat. He said, hey, Calvin, just now finding it live. Happy Easter from Oklahoma. Thank you, Mr. Bullard. I appreciate that. Yeah, they don't play about the holidays over here. Everything's shut down here, man. The banks are shut down. They'll be shut down until Monday. It's a lot that's shut down. And then tomorrow's Good Friday. Just about everything's going to be shut down, man. Yeah, he said his first trip was Singapore. He got spoiled. Yeah, I can hear them rats, man. And, you know, it'll keep you up at night. That's for sure. But I've had more great experiences than not great experiences over here. That's why I'm still here. My life really is good over here, man. I'm not faking about it because trust me, man, I'm a Gemini, man. I get bored with stuff. And I just can't get bored with this place. I don't know what it is about the Philippines. I guess because I've only seen such a small piece of it. And the stuff is, I mean, it's just so good here, man, that the weather and all that, you know, I don't know. I can't hardly explain it, man, but maybe that's why, you know, I'm biased toward the Philippines because I came here first. But I love Thailand. I did. Ted Robinson said, Filipino girl tells you certain things that bother her. But if she is not asking you any questions about you, your plans, do you want a girlfriend or wife and a child, it means she wants only money, not you. And see, that's a great point. It's just that, like I said, remember, they're always going to hold back something. This has just been my experience. JV said no one talks about this. What about the size of mosquitoes and the cockroaches? Do the cockroaches fly? They do. And it's going to take you a while. But see, they won't bother you. And you very seldom see a cockroach. They told me that you only see them when it's going to rain. And that's the truth. When you see them, you may see, because in this house, I can go all around here. You'll never see a cockroach. I can move the cardboard, paper, and everything. But let it rain, and we'll see one or two. They're big. But the mosquitoes here, the reason I don't talk about them a lot, I've talked about them. One of my last videos when I was telling you about some things to prepare for over here. You're only going to have problems with mosquitoes if you're around water. If you're at that beach at night, if you're anywhere near standing water or anything like that. But if I go out here at nighttime and sit out, I'm not going to have a problem with mosquitoes. But you have to be careful. All you need is some repellent. Yeah, I see. But they can be problems over here. Chef Kevin from Kentucky says, have you done any videos on what to pack for a 2-week stay? Since I plan the island hop, am I a backpacker traveler? Well, no. What you're going to need is this on a 2-week stay. Bring some light clothes, obviously. Hey, Ace Cornell, thanks for that super sticker. I know he's back home in in Las Vegas, man. This guy, he's a legend. And I'm not just saying that because he gave me a super sticker. He really is a legend. And I love to interview him the next time he's here. But he says what to bring on a 2-week trip. Listen, guys, bring some comfortable shoes. Whether it's gym shoes, slippers, buy some good ones there that are comfortable. It's going to be hard to find your size here. Bring some good lotion. Bring some good sunscreen. When I say light clothes, I mean not only just heavyweight light, but I mean light. Like don't bring a lot of blue and black and stuff like that. Bring a lot of white and light clothes, man, because the sun over here don't play. Bring crispy $100 bills and $50 bills to exchange. I mean, with no markings, no cuts or anything on them. It has to be pristine. Bring some good deodorant because it's humid over here. You're going to need that. And if Filipinos smell you stinking one time, you will never live that down. You never live that down. So I would bring some foot powder. Bring some good soap. The soap over there. Remember, the Dove over there is made in America. It's different than the Dove over here. The Dove over here is made over here. And you'll see the different price. If it's from America, it's going to be about 10 or 15 pesos more expensive. I wouldn't worry too much about. Hold on for a minute. Hey, I didn't want to be inconsiderate. We used to go to Chandler on. When are they going to take us up there? Well, the next time, next month. Let's go up there. Yeah. Okay, we've been together 4 years next month. She keeps telling me she's going to take me there. After 4 years. Yeah, those are good friends. And I didn't want to be impolite, man. Those are great people. They're going to take me up to Candler to show me that volcano over there. But yeah, that's just some of the things, man, that you want to bring. I'm going to be honest with you, man. If I were you, I'd bring some light cologne too. Because Filipinos, they love when you smell good. A lot of the men over here, they wear that Ace cologne. So if you got some good cologne, man, over there, and you just use a little bit of it, because really it's only supposed to be cologne is for intimate moments. When somebody's right next to you, they don't want to smell it before they see you. But I would bring some of that. But I wouldn't overpack. Of course, more likely you're going to come over here and see somebody. I'd bring some souvenirs. I'd bring, some T-shirts, maybe a bottle of liquor or something from over there. He says, in my humble opinion, if your job lives and dies by a reliable internet connection, you can only really live in Manila, Cebu. I'm going to have to disagree with you, man. Normally, I don't know what's happening today. That's why I went out to Maryland. She said it was just a small brownout, but I don't understand it. I've got PLDT 5G fiber optics. It's about as good as you can get here in the Philippines. Because believe it or not, the last time I was in Cebu, there was a brownout. And you're not going to get any Wi-Fi during brownout. Yeah, people don't work this week right now. RVRV says there are many ongoing PH infrastructure, airport, rails, expressways. Soon they are negotiating for inter-island bridges connecting Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. See, this is correct. And this is why I like the Philippines, because there's so much room to grow over here. You have to understand places like the United States, Thailand, all these modern places, they're bursting at the seams. There's no more room really to grow. The Philippines, man, has so much room to grow. This is why I like it here. Things can only get better here. It's like getting in on the ground floor of a great stock if you get here now. And like I said, it doesn't take a whole lot to satisfy me. I'm a simple guy. So, was I blown away by Thailand? Absolutely, man. I was blown away. But I don't see trying to compare Thailand to the Philippines. You're like comparing the United States to the Philippines. You don't do that, do you? The Philippines is going to win out in certain things, and Thailand is going to win out in certain things. I get it. They're really comparing the women. So you're going to have to say the Philippine women are going to be better then. Simply because they speak English, and they don't beat around the bush. Literally, they don't beat around the bush here. They get straight to the point, man. And that's one thing I like about them. Hey, she said, scooting off back to Las Vegas to regroup for my next Las Vegas. Now, I thought you were gone already. I thought you were back already. Hey, hit the like button, guys. Yeah, we got about 4 minutes left. I want to thank everybody for your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shoulders, man. I don't take it for granted. I mean, I love this community, man, that sprung up around me. There's guys in Cebu now that all met on this channel, man. They're about as tight as you can possibly be. They've got their support system. As a matter of fact, when Anthony Williams, when he went to Manila, he asked Michael Beecher Life to go there with him because he had to go to the VA. See, this is what I'm talking about, a support system. Because if things can go wrong, they sometimes will, man. You need something more than that perfect plan, which most of us operate on over here. As long as things go perfectly, we're going to be fine. But we know nothing's perfect. A lot of us over here have no health insurance. We isolate and we don't trust anybody. I'm too private. I don't want nobody to know my business. We're making a big mistake. Even people at home, they just know, oh, he's in the Philippines. They don't know exactly where you are. That's very, very important. Vince Lawson says, shout out to my niece, Flage and LSU Tigers National Championship. Now, are you her mother's brother or her father's brother? Are you just calling her your niece? Vince? What's that connection? Because she's like a star for real. She's not just a basketball player. She was on America's Got Talent and all that. Okay, yeah. He says, He said, hi, Kevin. Yes, off to Las Vegas to regroup so I can return and do more diving and enjoy the good life in the Philippines. Take good care. See you next time. Yeah, brother. I mean, I met you face to face at the meet and greet in Dumaguete. See, that's what it's all about, guys. Making connections. I made a lifelong connection with Ace. And as soon as I got there, Justin said, hey, it's a guy here who wants to meet you. He said he came here because he knew you were going to be here. And that was Ace, man. He knows James Brown personally. I mean, he's a one of a kind. What are you doing, booby? Slowly. Drinking on my juice. Will Sutton, thanks for that super chat. He says, I appreciate you, brother. The nitty gritty has helped me out on my trip to the PH. When are you coming back? Thanks, Ted. Let me get the ball rolling, guys. I know I got to play my theme song now. I don't know how I'm sounding on this laptop.
real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Yeah, guy, he said, I love that theme song. Anthony Edwards he lives in Seattle now, but he's from New York. I want to say Brooklyn, New York. He knows all the musicians. Teddy Riley, Keith Sweat. You know, Teddy Riley made that Keith Sweat album in the projects. He was telling me about it. And then I read about it. And then I saw a documentary with Teddy Riley. He was talking about it. He didn't get a lot of money on that album, believe it or not. Keith Sweat's album, I Want Her. It was a banging album, man. Sold millions and millions of copies. I think he got 10,000 out of the deal. But take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble, man. I'll see you next time. Help somebody, man, if it's not too late. Especially if you're over here in the Philippines. And I apologize for the glitches today on my live stream, but sometimes it happens very seldom.